Well, the first thing I got to say is, you have to have accountability in your finances. So you need to make sure that you have a separate bank account that's under the church's name, that you don't have access to, that other people have access to. That way you put yourself in a great position. You set yourself up to win that way. You got bookkeepers. You call for financial reviews. In terms of finances, we gathered together, and I had people saying, Pastor, I need to pay my tithe. And so we've been, from the very beginning, we've been tithing. And so we've had people tithing. We have just had provision upon provision for us. The truth is we solicited no one. We received nothing. There was a church, my former home church, after we opened, had given us a gift of $3,000, which we greatly appreciated, after we had already opened. Everything else had just been people tithing and giving, people hearing about us from other people. I had people who were sending money from North Carolina, sending money from Chicago. We've had some large gifts come in from people who heard, hey, these guys are trying to do some audio-visual things. So we had someone give us a $4,000 gift. We had another person cash in some of their retirement, and then they wanted to give, so they gave us a $7,000 gift. Just last weekend, we had someone give us a $5,000 gift. And none of this is solicited. Everything that has come in by people who just hear the vision. Don't miss that, church planners. They hear the vision, they see the results, and then they want to invest. When people see God moving in the lives of other people, they want to give. And so God has provided for us in incredible fashion. Frankie, in our first 10 months, we have already given $21,000 to missions.
Wow.
We already given away $21,000 to missions program that we support. We actually support 7 different missions programs on a monthly basis, and we've been able to give away almost $21,000 since we opened. That's in our first year. Most people say as church planners you're supposed to keep it all. Keep it all, keep it all. But we believe differently. We believe we're blessed to be a blessing. And I'll tell you, that's something that I believe in. We're blessed to be a blessing. And so we release that blessing. When we find out someone in our church is in need, we provide for their need. We are benevolent to our people, Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the utmost parts of the world. And so I have not solicited a penny from anyone. Instead, people have come to me and said, Pastor, I want to give this gift. How do I do it? And I said, well, you write a check, or you put it in the offering, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. We have single moms who write their tithes checks every week, and I'm telling you, that's just as big of a sacrifice as someone who wrote a big check. Yeah. We are a blue-collar people, and you know what? Our people, we believe that Acts 2 thing. Everybody comes together, brings everything you got, and you push it into the middle and say, Jesus, this is what we got. And I tell you, I have never seen the righteous forsaken or God's seed begging for bread. And that's the kind of church plant we've been able to be. We've been able to invest in other ministries and other people because we believe we're blessed to be a blessing. We don't have to beat people up about giving. Instead, they come looking to give. And that's because they see the vision, and they see the mission, and they see the ministry, and then they give to Jesus.
Now, you said you were affiliated with the ARC, associated area churches, right? Is that how you say it?
Associated related churches.
Okay. How have they helped you guys out, and what have they brought to the table that's really been helpful for you guys?
You know, when you go there, they have a list of resources there. I mean, I'm telling you right now, if I would have known this back in April and May and April of last year, it would have been so much even more helpful. But they have such a great list of resources that they just give away. They're a generous organization. They have monthly calls that you can get in on. They have blogs. There's just so much resource that they just pour into the pastor. They have a passion for church planting, and so they love church planners, and they recognize we live on a shoestring budget. Indifferent for us at City on a Hill, we don't live on a shoestring budget. We're blessed, man. But we also recognize that we want to be blessed to other people as well. So that's how they've really come alongside. Their resource page is incredible for anybody who needs something. Let's use something example. How do you teach an usher to lead? So they have a page on teaching an usher how to lead with a job description.
Wow.
So there's all kinds of really great job descriptions on there. Just a wealth of resources. Not to mention you can call them, talk to somebody. They're just a generous people, and I'm proud to be a partner with them in ministry.
Awesome. Now, one of the things that you mentioned is that your bigger vision, is to plant other churches, etc. Tell us what's next with City on the Hill. I know you got your anniversary coming up, the Belize trip, but if you could. I'm always trying to get insider information here, so to speak. Tell us what's next. That's kind of been, without, giving us too much information, but, the next big step for City on the Hill that you guys have been praying about, preparing for.
Well, I really honestly believe that God wants to unify the churches here in the city. And we've had some incredible tragedies here in St. Petersburg, Florida. And out of those tragedies, we have a group of pastors that are praying together and seeking God together. And frankly, I'm not here to build an empire. I'm not here to build City on a Hill Church empire. I'm here to build God's kingdom in this city. And I believe that God has called us to help bring some unity in our city. And so we're going to continue to pray. Right now, we just started something. As a matter of fact, today, March 9th, we started something, March 9th, 2010. It's Ash Wednesday. 40 days of prayer with over 6,000 other Christians in the Tampa Bay area praying and seeking God's face. We're also adopting, there are 1,199 streets in St. Petersburg, and our church wants to partner with transformourworld.org to see every single street in this city covered in prayer on a regular basis. So the next big thing for us, man, is to be in our city. I've got a core value and a saying that I say all the time to our people. I say we're building the city of God, the city for God among the city of men. And I really believe that we have to be, you can't say you're about the city unless you're in the city.
Yeah.
So you can't be talking all that noise saying, oh, we're all about the city, we're all about the city, and then nobody knows where you're at because you ain't about the city. So you have to be out and get out there into your community. So our next big thing is there. I'm also talking with another potential organization of helping to plant a church in a foreign country. I'm going to say that it's insider information, but you'll be the first to know. But we're talking about a church plant in another country right now. We found an organization we feel we're going to be able to partner with to see one of those 5 churches planted in the next year or two. We believe that. Also believe that God's going to draw and call young men to our congregation that are going to be raised up as church planners. And so I really believe that God's going to use us as a training center for a lot of different church planners in the country. And they're going to come for the right reasons, though. They're going to come with their own vision, their own desire, but they need to come ready to set up chairs. They need to come ready to do all the things that all the rest of us do with that passion in their heart and that belief, and then come with a dream and expect God to shape that dream into a vision, and then shape that dream in their heart. And then we want to help them plant a church, whether it be nationwide, worldwide, in this region, in this city, wherever God has intended for us. But we do know that we are going to ordain and send out missionaries and church planters from our church, because we just believe in church planting. I believe that that's the way that you get the highest attention in the city. I believe it's a great way for evangelism. And I also need, for every church that opens, there's 10 that close. Yeah. And it's significant that we continue to be church planters. And we can't be territorial. I'm not here to build an empire. I'm here to build God's kingdom. And God's kingdom is built in the hearts and lives of men and women.